We're all about the Archers. I'm Philippa.
And I'm Lauren.
And we are here to talk to you all about what's happened so far this week in Ambridge. We will be talking about episodes on Sunday the 9th of June, Monday the 10th, and tonight, Tuesday the 11th of June. You have been warned, there will be spoilers. Lauren, what did you think about the week? What did you think about tonight, Tuesday's episode?
Well, I've found plenty of flops this week and not all that much to fave. One of my top faves is that we might be seeing the end of Bartleby. Bartleby, I like to say.
Very good.
Because either, surely, Meg's going to buy him or he's going to get strangles. Is that going to happen? Like one of those, and then we don't have to listen to any more of this Bartleby guff.
Now, I'm not a huge fan of Bartleby, but I have to say, if they sell him for £1,500, I will be fuming. This was a family horse.
This was that van.
But this is outrageous. First of all, when Ed was saying, no, tell her to sling a hook, I was like, yes, finally, Ed, I'm agreeing with something you've said. And then when they say the amount, no, this is outrageous. I mean, I've made my sign for Duke today, pray for Duke, but I need to add in Anne Bartleby immediately. Poor Bart being sold for that. No, sorry. Anyway,
but you know, like let's leap straight in with all of their business decisions and things that they've been. So Emma and Ed Snoot, which I must say I do like the name. Little Grange Tree Surgery, but that is where it stops. Them discussing whether or not they should go and take this job for double pay when they've got Will there, who's also part of the business, and George, who could be handing out, and them just saying, oh, should we go? Oh, I don't really know. And then go in, and then on the way home, basically saying, we've had one good day, let's get a second van. They're mad, aren't they? What do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree. Did you know Little Grange Tree Surgery, the letters LGTS, that's the code for Thessalonica Airport?
Oh!
Fact of the day. I don't think they thought about that. And when Emma said, the day fixing the tree on the bridge, took them all day to move one tree.
I know.
It didn't sound that big, like a twig. You just go, there you go. And Emma said, she felt like she was in Ghostbusters.
Yes, they could have been cool.
Dear, you are not strapped with a backpack eradicating slimy green things. No.
Just insane. For a moment, I thought they weren't going to go. And then when Ed sort of said, oh, no, I've already agreed to it, I thought, oh, well, thank God for that at least.
Yeah.
But, yeah, their business, they're just not made for it, are they? Which is a shame because I remember really rooting for them at the beginning, but they just seem so daft.
And they were over-talking each other tonight as well. That wound me up. Yes. I agree with you. A lot more flops than faves this week.
I mean, other flops, you mentioned Duke. Duke sort of slow march to death. That's quite depressing, isn't it? Just having to listen to that and him not getting any better and, oh, no, he's not any better. Oh, no, he's not any better. He's not any worse, but he's not any better. And I just think, oh, just put him out of his misery.
But the lumps have turned to abscesses.
Oh,
I mean,
poor Duke.
Poor Duke. It is all, I'm hoping he will survive and recover and be all right.
You can hope. I don't know if you might be better putting that sign in the recycling.
No, please let Duke be okay. Don't sell Bartleby. I never thought I'd be passionate about horses. I'm allergic to horses, so I don't know why. But anyway, there we go. Anything else?
I also had a few flops relating to Lily. First of all, a spin class. I've been to one spin class in my life. Have you ever been?
It's awful.
It is awful. Do you know what, Philippa? I went to an over 50 spin class. So I didn't know I was going to an over 50 spin class. I was a member of the gym many years ago. Never made that mistake again. And went to a daytime spin class because I had some time off. And it was an over 50s class. And I thought, oh, great, I'll be fine. I had to go and shut myself in a changing room because I thought I was going to pass out. Like, my legs were just blah, blah, blah. So I got PTSD thinking about that. And then also just Lily and Josh's sort of modesty tournament. Lily saying she's got so much to do, but of course she's going to pass her coursework. And Josh talking about how good he is at cricket. And I just get sort of like sulky teenager attitudes from the pair of them. And they're both very self-involved. I know you're a big Josh fan.
I am a huge fan of Josh, but I'm not a huge fan of Lily at all. She was so full of herself and all of this hot girl summer.
I know, and hot
in
boy summer.
Ambridge.
She said it twice in one episode. I thought, I'll give it a rest, Lily.
I thought, if you want to be a hot girl in Ambridge, just go and stand in the polytunnel. You'll be too hot in that. You don't need to do anything else. No, I didn't. And how she thought she'd been running Grey Gables.
Yes,
no.
That level of modesty. But I did like Josh saying, it made me chuckle a bit when Josh was like, oh, I really think we should maybe keep our distance from Paul while he's going through this breakup. And like thinking he was doing him a real favour when really he was just helping himself out. But then he sort of come to his senses, didn't he, after a chat with Lillian? So,
yeah.
All right.
Now food. Originally I'd written none, but then I've just got breakfast and butty.
Oh, okay. So there was a lot of chomping going on. I thought that was cereal, and I thought, have I missed? Because I thought when Josh came down, she said to him, "Are you not having cereal?" Also, the way she was talking to him, she was like, "Oh, social distancing. You look disgusting." I thought, oh, give it a rest, Lily. I got bacon as well.
Oh.
And then they were talking about feed for Bartleby, and then they said high fibre feed cubes.
I'm writing it down. High fibre feed cubes.
I could do with a high fibre feed cube every so often. Keep me regular.
That could be the name of the podcast. I was thinking Sling Her Hook would be quite a good title, but high fibre feed cubes could win. Who knows? Okay, serious time now. Let's talk about Harrison. Bless him.
So I'm all for him settling himself and doing what he needs to do. What I'm not for is him sort of not mentioning this to Fallon and making that quite clear that he's not going to mention it to Fallon as well, because she needs to be made aware that there's going to be a service and a certificate and these sorts of things. And I'm sure she'd be supportive, she says. Maybe she won't be supportive, but like, if that's what Harrison needs, then that's fine. But go in sort of quietly about it. Will he even mention it at all to her? Is that what I'm concerned about? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a difficult area. I'm glad they're covering it. I've had miscarriages, so I'm glad that they're covering it, and it sort of normalises it as much as you can, so you don't feel like you're the only one. And I think it's very interesting that they've turned it, and we're seeing the feelings coming from the man rather than the woman, which we don't normally hear about. So bravo for that. I didn't know that you can get a baby loss certificate now. So again, learnt something new. But it's just this, there is no middle ground.
Yeah.
He wants children.
Yeah.
And he's mourning this child. She doesn't want children. She's not mourning it. And there's no way you can't, you can't reach some sort of mutual ground in this. And I do worry. I worry about him. I worry about her. He's not going about it the right way. She's not really being mindful of him. I just worry that despite the love, I don't know if they're going to stay together.
I feel the same, and I also feel in sort of, as a woman who doesn't want children, I feel in disbelief that I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe you would put this relationship on the line because you want children and this person doesn't. Like, wouldn't you just not have children? Like, that's how I'm looking at it. But I am aware that there are people that feel exactly the same, but the flip side of it. So for me, I just feel like, oh God, like, come on, Harrison. Like, that's how I feel. But I know there's other feelings there, like...
And I wanted that for them. I wanted them to be the couple that didn't need children. And I think Harrison did feel that, but now
he's had it in his grasp, didn't he?
It's just changed it so much for him. So yeah, I do worry how that's going to unravel more.
I know.
I loved hearing him with Alan. I think that's a
I
nice
also think
friendship.
it's an interesting take on having like Harrison, who's a man of faith, and him seeking comfort there as well. Like, it's an interesting I say take on it, and I don't mean to cheapen it by saying that, but it is interesting to me to hear him get comfort from Alan and to seek comfort from that elsewhere. So yeah, but oh God, I sort of thought last week, I was like, I think they might be all right,
Yes. They're not talking about what happened, but they sound as if they had moved on a bit, but it's desperately sad.
I know. It really is.
how are they going to stay together and each of them be happy and fulfilled?
I know.
I know. They could adopt Bartleby.
Oh yeah, that's just what you'd want, isn't it? But also going from sort of Harrison and Fallon and a relationship that I'm entirely invested in to having to dredge up some care for Paul and Etienne, who I don't even feel like I'd heard of Etienne before.
No, I think we've heard mention of Etienne briefly, but I really love Paul.
Yeah.
I think he's, he goes off to spin class with Lily. Why does she expect people to go off to a spin class with her? Paul went off and does everything for everyone, and now he's feeling in need and he's hurting. And
imagine being sort of like broken up with by someone saying, "Oh, I think we should open up our relationship." Like,
those aren't the words you want to receive on a text message from someone you love.
I have a question. Who's Denise on holiday with?
Well, I was presuming she's away with her husband, and so I'm thinking...
Poor old Alistair!
I know. Has Denise had a change of heart?
Yeah.
It just made me think, not many people go on holiday in Ambridge or out of Ambridge. You don't hear. Yes, we heard of Paul and Denise's husband going to the Caribbean because of the
mother-in-law had died. Oh no, mother died. Yeah.
Paul, yes. Well, has she died, or was she just poorly?
Did she die in the end? He was very upset. I think maybe she died in the end, and John stayed on a bit longer. Oh God, how bad's that? My memory. That was only a couple of months ago.
I thought she was very ill, but she hadn't. But everyone will write in and
if you're watching this on YouTube, write it in the comments and tell us what actually happened.
Apologies. But apart from that, you don't hear of people really going away on holiday. It's like you can't break the seal.
Is that because it's like they're farmers and they find it hard to find the time to do that? Or...
I find farmers go away. They just go away out of season at different times. It's like, if you live in Borsetshire, you can't get your passport. You need a visa or something to get out.
Well, you need to get the day when the actual road with the bridge on is open, because seemingly that never happens.
Well, thanks to LGTS, Ghostbusters, it's safe now. Yeah, why is she sending all these photos to Paul? Is it to pretend that they're getting on really well and everything's rosy?
If that's even who she's away with, I mean, I assume that's who she's away with.
So.
Imagine if she's with Alistair.
And he's in the background hiding.
In the reflection of her sunglasses, taking the photo.
Yes. I didn't understand that. But this is a week written by Nick Warburton, who's always bringing us some strange weeks. But normally a Nick Warburton week precedes a week of
delicious food.
Or things really happening.
Yeah.
So, but I think we just need to request at this point, please, can nothing happen in the Archers for the next 2 weeks, because we're on our summer break. So
we are. Speaking of holidays.
Yes, if nothing could happen for the next 2 weeks, we'd be ever, ever so grateful. But anyway, there we go. We'll be back in July immediately for the rest of the year. So yes, we've dealt with Denise sending photos. Were there any faves that you had this week?
The fact that Bartleby will be Bartleby, and I did quite like Josh having saying, "Do you know what? I think we probably should keep our distance from Paul." Like, I thought, you little sneaky so and so. But apart from that, no faves. I don't know if I can class them as faves, but in a week full of flops.
Yeah, everything. So many flops for me. Yes, absolutely.
Did you have a star of the week in amongst all the flops?
Thank you for that. I was just going to come on to star of the week. Well, I did like Paul going to spin class with Lily, but I'm going to say Oliver. Oliver now has really no friends. Roy's gone abroad. The Grundys were nasty when he needed to sell the land. Tracy got nasty when he needed to sell the hotel. Duke's dying. And Lillian, at least, there's some thawing there. But I think Harrison and Oliver need to be friends. I think there'd be a nice friendship there. So, poor Oliver is my star of the week, just to try and pep him up a bit. What about you?
Well, I've given it to Lillian, firstly for sort of being quite kind about Paul's heartbreak. I mean, she was very kind, and the way she spoke to Josh about it, but also sort of her frustrated tears and feeling a bit sort of helpless is something I can assimilate with. I saw myself a bit in Lillian this week, so I've given Lillian Star of the Week.
It was like, oh, Oliver, I'm desperately sorry. This is awful, because she couldn't find the papers. And then 2 seconds later, great news! I found the papers. Everything is fantastic.
I was going definitely more on this week than last week because, last week I was like, Lillian, you wouldn't ring to brag about it, would you? It doesn't speak professionally, does it?
No, and I just thought she was a bit over the top asking about Paul tonight. But yeah, fair enough. Each their own.
Each their own.
Team
we
Lillian,
can't all
team
be the same.
No, and that's what makes it brilliant. Okay, predictions. Do you have any predictions?
Yeah, I've already said I think Bartleby's going, whatever happens. He'll be bought, get strangles. And also, just to cement, and I think I've said this in the past, but I think it's pretty safe to say that Roy's going to be staying with Lexi in Bulgaria at this stage. Would you say?
Yes, I absolutely
Which will
would.
be a nice wrapping up of events, I think. But it was also nice. I feel like we've been here not just this week, but like we've been hearing how vital Roy has been to Grey Gables, and it's been nice to sort of hear that. And then obviously he probably won't be coming back unless they recast the actor who plays Roy. So who are they going to get to replace him? Is it going to be Lily?
Oh no. Please. Well, I've got a prediction about that, but I've hastily written Bartleby's name onto the side of my...
That's very, very professional. Absolutely.
My goodness.
Speaking
Mona
of professionalism.
So one of my predictions was that the horsey woman from Shropshire will return, and she has.
Yeah.
It's this Meg Mellor. I wondered if she was a journalist, because they couldn't get the interview with George, so I wondered if they'd sent her in as a journalist to sneakily get an interview, but no, she wants to buy Bartleby, so that's fair enough. And I did wonder if Oliver will find out about Lily redirecting some Grey Gables inquiries to Lower Loxley.
Yeah.
So the hot girl summer turns out to be frozen out autumn.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Poor girl Summer, because you got the sack.
Yes, and she deserves it. So there we go. So that's it. We've covered the week. We'll be back the first Tuesday in July. We've got a great cast interview set for July as well. Very exciting. So, Lauren, enjoy your summer break. I'll enjoy mine.
Your summer break, and everybody else, enjoy your summer break. Have a lovely couple of weeks without us.
And we'll see you soon. So it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me. Goodbye.
Bye-bye, everyone.